doing? I hope everyone is fine. So actually today I will be discussing about a technique that you can use in your online strategy lesson classroom. Okay, so actually during my first day of teaching, or every year, I actually ask my students to tell or to write what are their expectation in the class. So one student I came across, he actually said that he always get the same thing every year and he doesn't get the thought that why he should attend my class. And so I thought that I had to do something because they're always with their phones. They always would prefer to watch videos or play their games on their mobile phones. I need to make a difference and do something. Some ideas and techniques because are not enough here. And so I thought that why not use gamification in the class? So this is all about gamified distance learning in physical education. But before we actually jump into the education context, let me give you an example that actually every day we experience gamification. For example, when we go to cafes, they actually give us coupons, and when we completed them, they give us something in return, maybe a planner or a mug or some advantages cards. We earn points from them. Another great example for that are smartwatches. It keeps track of our physical activities, and with that, it it gives us more leverage to do even better because there are results and we can see results. Now, this motivates someone to do something to be healthier. Now, among these examples that I actually gave to you, what do they have in common? Now, they do have something that they weren't doing before. That is gamification, is all about motivating. So motivation is about creating a feeling, the fulfillment, accomplishment that we feel whenever we do finish something. It's about can also be certification or badges. Motivation can also be results. Okay, so if you can see that we have lose weight, it gives us motivation to do even better. Motivation can also be money, and it can also be earning rewards of some kind or trophies. So now gamification is actually an application of game design elements and game principles in non-game context. There's actually a research already that gamification contributes a lot with the learning content or with the learning context in the classroom. So this game-based programs and gamification of physical exercises is really helpful to engage students. So now I will be talking about some gamification myths or what not to think about gamification. First off, they say gamification is all about creating games. Now, actually, this is not about creating games. You're just about to apply game-based mechanics to your e-learning content, not the entire, but the principles of games. You will apply it to your learning content. For example, we have progress indicators. Students love to see the results or the progress in their performance. We don't actually just use we don't just a learner area that just menus. We want learners to explore. So they also love to see exciting graphics and also some badges would really get their attention. So when they were able to answer a question, when you pop up a badge on the screen, that it means a lot to them already. It doesn't have to mean anything, but they get something from it. They also love to have points and also some timers. So during a game, when you set some timers, it gives them the urge to do best because they are into it. And some personalization also. Students love to personalize their e-learning. Here's some examples of the personalization that I actually use them. I give them their superhero names. Okay, so here are some example also of badges and experience points that they level up already in their learning material to their learning content. And I don't just plainly use groups in my class. I use squads and guild to hype them up in my lesson. Okay, so second, is gamification requires tangible rewards. It doesn't require tangible rewards. It doesn't necessarily mean that you really have to give them certificates or chocolates or money. It just requires something that makes the learners feel like they've been rewarded virtually. Like what I said, popping some badges on the screen would make a difference for them. Third is gamification is actually or simply adding a game template. Now, there are lots of gaming template that is being used nowadays, such as Who Wants to Be a Millionaire and Wheel of Fortune. This is not bad. This is actually good. But you don't have to gamify your entire content. You just have to pick or just have to uh, gamify just one piece of your lesson. Okay. Next is gamification is not appropriate for adult learners. This is actually not true. Gamification is appropriate is also for adult learners. We all have gamers inside all of us, and we actually download games in our cell phones during our bored. If when we feel bored, we actually play games on our phones. So we all have new smartphones. We download games. Okay, so next is gamification is very complicated. It's actually not that really complicated. We just want to use simple game mechanics instead of using intricate or the very complicated ones. What we're talking more is about simple gamification. They don't require big investment. They're just easy to accomplish with the tools you already know how to use. So we don't have to complicate ourselves. Okay, and yeah, we have to gamify your teaching, and there's a lot of things that we can use to gamify our teaching. There's a lot of gaming mechanics that you can apply to your content that can make it engaging, especially nowadays in the new normal. It's kind of really difficult, but it's not impossible also. Now, the question is when to use gamification. Now, first, you have to consider your audience. Not all content is appropriate for your audience. So, you need to think of consideration also. And time. You have to consider your time. If you have a limited time for 10 minutes or 15 minutes, we can use gamification for that. So, make use of your time also, and also the content. What are the objectives? What's the purpose of your content that you wanted to use gamification, and the results? So what results do you want them to achieve in this uh, gamification process or gamification learning content? Now, there's a lot actually of ways to use gamification, and it's up to us now how to take innovation. Just have to think outside the box and explore. So one of the examples that I actually use in my class is the poll everywhere. It helps students engage in my class. Whenever I ask questions, I can see their results using their smartphones. So you can check this out. Also, we have Classcraft. This is a really great platform. They can earn some badges and see their results with this. And yes, Kahoot. This platforms are actually for free, so please do check them out. This is really helpful. Also, I think that would be all. Thank you so much for listening to my presentation, and I hope that you will be able to use some of the content of gamification. If you want to create lessons that are engaging for students, consider adding gamification elements so that students feel like the learning is like being inside a video game world. Now, gamification in PE is easy to implement, can make teaching way more fun, and greatly improves classroom management and reduces behavior issues. So I urge you to try it during a lesson next year. So I'll see you again next time.